Pleased to be joined today on Dino Tracks by Mackenzie Trpcic, one of the newest members of the Dinos women's basketball team. Mackenzie, welcome to the Dinos family.
Thank you. I'm impressed that you said my last name right. I'm really happy about that.
I did do a bit of studying, I won't lie. Mackenzie, do you want to start by telling us a bit about yourself? You're joining the Dinos from the NCAA, where you've had a great career, most recently at UC Davis.
Yeah. No, I've had an amazing career in the States. I've won 4 conference championships. I think it's 4 now. It's kind of hard to keep track after all these years, but I've kind of done the whole journey in the States. I've done March Madness. I've played these top tier teams, and I'm ready for a new adventure. So I'm really excited to come back home. Kind of. It's a little far from home still, but it's still Canada. So I'm excited to make the journey.
You mentioned you got a chance to play basketball last season. That's something not a lot of people got to do. What was it like to play in the NCAA Women's March Madness bubble, and what was it like just to play basketball last year in the pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a modified season, no doubt about it. We actually only played 13 games, but we still did a whole March Madness thing. So we started off the season in November, played 1 game, and then my area kind of got shut down due to really high COVID rates. So we were just practicing for about 2 months, just waiting to hear when things would open back up, as everyone else in the country was continuing on with their modified season as it was. So it was definitely a really kind of resilient year for us. So I was really glad that when eventually things did open back up, and we got a few games here and there in, we were so kind of like into it. We were all together. And that's really what ended up kind of fueling us and propelling us to the rest of the season and eventually to March Madness in the bubble in Texas. And that experience was definitely one that I'll take with me for the rest of my life. No one else is probably going to have a bubble. I hope not once this pandemic is over. But it was kind of like a summer camp vibe, to be honest with you, with the 64 teams and a few hotels in downtown San Antonio. So it was really cool. I got to see a lot of people who I hadn't seen, who I knew throughout the NCAA. And we played a game, should have won, but I'm not gonna dwell on it. But overall, just a really amazing year.
You make the decision to enter the transfer pool. This was not your first transfer. You actually began your college career at Albany. What was this transfer process like? Was it similar to the last one, or was it a bit different?
Yeah, so when I first transferred from Albany to UC Davis, there wasn't a portal, so I didn't have to put my name in anything. So that was completely different because with this new portal, I guess it's a few years old now, but anyone can contact you, so everyone knows that you're transferring. So it was pretty overwhelming just with the amount of kind of contact that I did get, but it was also very humbling. So and Calgary was always up there. Just a great program, and Coach Jennings just really a great recruiter, to be honest with you. So I'm really excited to be coming back home and make some things happen.
As you mentioned, you had a bunch of different opportunities to choose from, schools across Canada, a few big institutions in the States. What was it about the Dinos women's basketball team that made it the right fit for you?
Yeah, well, for me, it's about that holistic perspective. It's about developing and forming relationships that are going to continually last. And being recruited by Coach Jennings was just incredible. He definitely made that apparent that these bonds and the culture is really important to him. So that was huge. And then also, I'm doing my master's program. So I know Calgary has a top tier kinesiology program, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So that was huge. And then they're year after year an incredible basketball program, and that means a lot to me. And I think I can contribute a lot going forward.
You just mentioned it. Faculty of Kinesiology at the University of Calgary is the #1 sports science school in North America. You're going to be doing your master's there. How much of a play did that have in your decision?
Oh, it was huge. At the end of the day, when I kind of narrowed things down to choices, mainly choices throughout the US, and then Calgary was my only real Canadian one that I wanted to look at. It ended up being the program that made the difference in the end, which program I wanted to do. So it was huge. And hopefully, med school is down the line. So obviously, going to a top notch program is huge for me.
you're from Hamilton, but you've told me you have some family in Calgary. Is there something sentimental about knowing you're heading into your senior season, getting to come home to Canada?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it kind of feels like a full circle moment. And I mean, I've been in California, so I've been really, really far away from home for a long time. So coming home and having some family in the area, maybe to have Thanksgiving meals with, and maybe Christmas if I'm not able to make it back to Hamilton, is huge for me. And it's a much quicker flight out to Calgary from home. So it's going to be amazing.
When you hit the floor at the Jack Simpson gym for the first time, can you tell us a little bit about what kind of player the fans are going to see?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to see someone who leaves it all on the court every night. I definitely leave the court with a lot of bumps and bruises. So I'm going to be the one diving on the floor, taking charges, that whole deal. But I also think after all these years in the NCAA, you're going to get a leader. You're going to get a point guard who knows how to lead, who knows how to communicate, and really just have fun on the court. So I'm excited to bring that to Calgary.